Hello everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Show Me How It's Done. I am your host, Lauren Urbonis with Lauren Scraplot, and I'm here in Canada for anyone who may need a catalog or a demonstrator. So today what I want to introduce you to is a non-traditional Christmas card. I know we love the reds and greens of the season, but I've been really challenged this year to use non-conventional colors. So I've had a lot of fun playing with combinations like Mint Macaron and Blushing Bride, and then I thought, hey, let's get even bolder and make a Christmas card using some colors that I never would have combined in a poinsettia stamp. So what I want to do today is show you how to make this card and challenge you to maybe pull out some colors in your craft room that aren't your typical Christmas combinations. So this card here is featuring the Merriest Moments stamp set, as well as the coordinating dies. So what's fun about this set is there's not only a gorgeous set that has imagery, sentiments galore, but the dies coordinate with a really fun embossing folder. So we're going to play with that today, this guy here. And I'm going to show you how you can combine this embossing folder and the dies and make a beautiful card. Let me just get my phone out of the way, make sure we're live, and it looks like we are, so that's good. Okay, so let me just give you a brief overview of the dies here. Here's what you'd be looking for in the catalog. So these dies, they will cut out those complementary images on the embossing folder like I mentioned, and then there's also some fun stitched pieces. You've got your leaves, some little flowers. These are the poinsettias we're using today, or you can cut out an entire perimeter of something that you're going to work on as well. So if you'd like to follow along, that's wonderful. I will give you the measurements for the papers that I'm using today. However, I will also post those measurements on the comments so that you can always come back and redo the project with us, okay? So I'm just going to move this up to the top of my workspace here. Hopefully that's out of your way enough. Okay, so let's get working. The first thing that you're going to need is a piece of Bermuda Bay cardstock. And I ended up cutting this at 4 1/4 by 11. And I've put a score mark here at 5 1/2, so that when I fold this card in half, we're actually gonna do a fun, like, kind of different opening too. Usually we either open our cards up or we have them cut differently so that we can open them to the side. But I just thought, hey, let's play with the long paper today. It will be fun. All right, so I've got my card base. I will get you to cut a couple other pieces now while you're at it, and then we'll use those in a few minutes, okay? So you need one piece of basic black, and this is going to be the piece that we use to get this background greenery frame out of. So cut it at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We'll end up running it through our cut and emboss machine a couple times to get different measurements for it, but that'll give you enough room to work with. This polished pink is 4 inches by 5 1/4, and this will be for the inside of your card. Also on the inside is a piece of basic white to write on. This piece will be 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, so usually I do get you guys to go ahead and put these on the inside of your card, and we might as well just do that now so that they're off your workspace. I'm just using some double-sided tape, but you're more than welcome to use seal or even glue if that's your preference. So just putting those on the back here. And I really like this polished pink. It's nice and subtle, but it does still have kind of that Christmas cheer. It reminds me of some of the pink poinsettias that are out there for this season. Okay, so put that on the inside of your card. like so. Good. Now you will need a cut and emboss machine for this project, as well as that embossing folder and die set. So let me show you a few tricks on how we're going to design this card. So we're going to start with actually our card base here. And I don't know if you can tell, but in the background here, you can see some of these snowflakes, these raised dots. That comes from this embossing folder. So not only does it have the focal image that we're going to use in black, it's also got these really nice snowflakes that we're going to use as a background image for the rest of our card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just slip the front of my card inside this space and maybe just open the card up for yourself, because then that way you can move it to where you'd like it to be. You will need this image in the center of your card, okay? So however you need to move that so that it's in the center of your card, you'll want to do that now, okay? So when you're set, you can grab your machine, and I'm gonna see if it fits on this workspace up here. Hopefully it does. There we go. Can kind of see it a little bit. Okay, so what you need for this embossing folder is our base plate. So this nice thick plate, number 1. And then you will put down your embossing folder and paper. And on top, you're going to use the 3D embossing plate, because this is a 3D folder. So in our new machines now, this will come as a gray color. When I bought this as a bridge between my Big Shot and the cut and emboss, they came blue. So if you've got the gray one, that's great. Throw that on top, and we're just going to gently roll this. Okay. Sorry, the camera's trying to figure out where it should focus. Okay. So while you have this embossing folder out, we're going to emboss that black piece of paper, okay? So here's my blue one. It looks great. You'll see it better when I'm able to emboss a little differently, okay? So let me just get that out of the way. I need my black piece that I overcut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That's going to fit right in the middle, this space. Make sure you've got all of your leaves in this area and roll it through the exact same way. So that was just to get the embossing on our paper. We now want to cut out this black image so that it is our kind of focal piece for the front of the card. So I'm going to switch platforms here. I need my shim. I need 1 clear cutting plate. I need to put my paper down, and then I need to grab the die. So the die that I'm using is this really detailed one. Here we go. And it will fit, you just have to find the right spot. It will fit right over top. There we go. It kind of clicks into place. It'll fit right over top of that embossing that you've done. So just make sure it's nicely in the grooves. Grab yourself 1 more clear plate and roll this through. Sorry, I'm like rolling left-handed. Very interesting. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna get that out of the way. And grab that. Okay. The one last thing that you will need to cut is a stitched rectangle from Bermuda Bay. So this is from the same set. If you look at the set, it fits right inside this die image. So you need to cut this rectangle out for us to put our sentiment on. Okay, so I've already done that because, you know, you're dizzy enough. and it's just going to be something we emboss on in just a minute. So for now, we're going to just gently pull this excess paper away from our image. Just takes a couple seconds because it is very, very detailed. Okay, and then you can even poke out a few of these spots that may have a little extra paper in them. Most of it comes away with your die, but just in case there's a couple left over, there you go. So here is our frame. So it's the exact mirror of what I have now on my card front. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to put adhesive in the middle of the rectangle here and layer this piece right over top. I'm not going to attach any of these leaves because I do want them kind of coming out of the paper and giving me that really vibrant, alive look. But what I'm going to do is just put adhesive in the center here. I'm going to make sure my project is not upside down. Look, it doesn't match up at all like this. So I'm going to make sure it's the right way and stick it on. So any sort of adhesive is great. I think I dropped my double-sided tape. Oh, no, I didn't. Here we go. So just any sort of adhesive. Some glue would probably be super easy to use right now. But you do want this flat because we're going to add a lot of dimension with other parts of your card, and I want to make sure you can still mail this card in some form. Okay, so checking to make sure everything's lined up properly all the way around. Then I will just gently fill in that space. Okay, so here's my card front at the moment. Our next step is going to be doing a little bit of embossing. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing our sticky Versamark ink. I'm going to pick a sentiment from the Merriest Moments set. So I'm going to pick the joyful Christmas to you and yours. And you just nicely put that on your block. Tap, tap, tap on the Versamark. And this is going right in the center of my rectangle. Okay. So you won't be able to see it very well at the moment. All I'm going to do now is grab some white embossing powder, and I like to grab myself a little tray. I have these ones with a spout, which is great. If you don't have them, because unfortunately we don't sell them anymore, just a plate or even a paper that's folded will be great for you to use. Okay, so tap, tap, tap. Now you can see this is very powdery. I need to use a heat tool to set it. So I'm going to grab my heat tool and I'll show you, but you won't be able to hear me on the video while I'm doing that. So you'll just have to watch as this goes from kind of a really grainy, flat look to a nice shiny look as well. Okay, so let me grab my tool. My cord doesn't like to reach, so I'm going to do it from here. Okay, I'm just going to stop for a second. Can you guys see the difference between the ones in the bottom here and the top, where it's kind of nice and shiny and then still really flat? There we go. I'm back, yay! Yeah, my cord doesn't want to reach all the way. Okay, so here's my tag. I am going to use some dimensionals, and it will fit right in the center of this little space right here, okay? So 4 little dimensionals is all you really need, but you can do 6 if your paper has kind of bent a bit while you were heating it. Sometimes they get too close. There we go. Okay. Right in the center here. Like so. To decorate. This is where the fun begins. You can play any way you want with this, okay? All I wanted to do was to feature the stamp. So I thought, hey, I'm going to cut myself out a bunch of large and small poinsettias and some greenery, and let's see what happens, okay? So I have already cut myself out these pieces. I've stamped the flowers in the nice polished pink. So 4 large ones. I've stamped 4 small ones also in petal pink, or in the polished pink. And then I did 4 of these little green branches in Granny Apple Green. Okay, so kind of fun. Polished pink, Granny Apple Green. You wouldn't necessarily pick this off the shelf, but they work so nicely, especially with the Bermuda Bay paper that we're using. So to build our flowers, we can actually do that first on the side here. And let me just show you how I'm going to do that. So I'm going to split these up so you can see. I'll be using 2 large and 2 small flowers for the bottom, and then 2 large and 2 small for the top. Okay, so because I don't need this flying off the page, I'm not going to dimensionalize every layer, but I will be putting a little bit of dimension in this anyways. Okay, so my large flowers, I'm going to take a glue dot and just nicely offset them. And you can do both of them at the same time. So we'll do our 2 large flowers, put those together. And then you're going to put your 2 small flowers together, also with glue dots. This is just the easiest way for you to get these attached. You can use anything flat, tape, seal, whatever. But the glue dots, I just stick them on the roll, pull off, and I've got the glue on there. And make sure to flip around, getting kind of a nice angle that you want. Okay, so I've now got my flowers layered up. This is the place where you're going to put one dimensional. So my large flower and my layers of small flowers are getting attached. You can kind of just move them to where you're happy. That will give a little bit of dimension here. Where do I want you? Right there. There you go. Okay, 2 flowers. Now for a little extra dimension, if you want it, you can grab some of the metallic pearls. So I'm just going to take the gold ones. You can use silver as well. And I'm just going to make a little cluster in my flower. So right in the middle, do a row of 3. One, 2, 3. And then on top of the 3, you're going to put 2, kind of like a little triangle. And on the bottom, you're going to put another 2. That will give you a nice little cluster for the center of your card. You can also cut out a small flower from the die set. There's some really cute ones in there too. But I wanted pearls. Okay, here's my little flower. And across, 1, 2, 3. On top, put 2. 1, 2, and the bottom, put 2. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I think it's time to start building. I'm going to wait to attach my greenery just because depending on the orientation of, you know, the rest of my card, I may have made it differently this time. So I want to always be able to tuck these in at the end. So all I'm going to do to attach these is I'm going to put some dimensionals in this black corner here. Okay, I'm not putting any dimensionals in the Bermuda area because I want it on the same level. So my 3 in the bottom right, and you just put a little flower in there like so, and then top left, same idea, right on any black area. Don't put it on the blue. Okay, in the top here, put your second flower. And then here's where our glue dots are going to come back into play. We're going to just put a glue dot on the front here, and then anywhere you want to tuck it. So I'm going to just tuck one kind of hanging down here, and it will just attach to the bottom of your poinsettia. And then maybe back here, you may have to play a little to like fish it in. Just make sure they're attached. And then I'm just doing it opposite, okay? Go, 1 and 2. We will go under that. Yeah, I like that. My one dimensional's right here, so it's not sticking in there very well. Oh, there we go. I got him. No, I didn't. Sometimes your dimensionals get in the way. And I will just hide him under here instead. That's fine. There. Okay, so there is my beautiful card using the Merriest Moments bundle. This guy is going to disappear, so make sure to grab it before January 4th because it's really fun to play with. You can make all sorts of things with it too. And this greenery doesn't have to be Christmas, it can be winter as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed my non-traditional color scheme, and I look forward to crafting with you guys very, very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will talk to you later. Oh, sorry, one more thing. If you're anywhere, tomorrow is free shipping day for Stampin' Up. So any orders over $65 ship for free in Canada. I think the States is like $50 and other parts of the world, you'll have different amounts. But make sure to check with your demonstrator because it's an amazing time to just save a little bit of money on your order. If you were planning to order some paper or adhesives to kind of restock what you've used this Christmas season, now is a great time. Or if you want to get your hands on any of these bundles that maybe are disappearing, check out the last chance sections on our websites and reach out to your demonstrator or contact me if you're in Canada if you need a hand with anything. But free shipping day, Wednesday, December 8th. Take advantage of it because everyone likes to save a few dollars. Okay, see you guys. Bye.